Is there shoots of hope, to quote Arlene Foster about the figures in the north? Is there shoots of hope in the figures we've seen on COVID cases over the last 4 to 5 days, Colm?
Well, there certainly remains much to worry about, but yes, there are shoots of hope, and they imply that perhaps the measures that everybody's taking and the cumulative total and of all those efforts that everybody's making, your listeners, everybody throughout the country, are starting to kick in. So what we see, Shane, is that a number of daily cases, less than 1,000 for 6 of the past 7 days. You remember only a week or two ago we were hitting cases of 1,200 per day and getting used with numbing regularity to those new figures. And we see the 14-day incidence. That's the way we compare our incidence here against ourselves from time to time and with other countries. We see that falling from 309 per 100,000 to 292. And also we see that 7-day average, so what proportion of cases of the past 14 days occurred in the past 7 days, that's now fallen to about 42%, implying that we've reached a peak. Now, the one caveat I'd say is that even though we see at the beginning of drops in all age groups, that does not apply to the over 65s, and that's where the disease has its greatest impact in terms of severity.
Why is that, Colm?
Well, I think the most likely explanation is of that delayed effect. If we look at this whole phase as how it's impacted on Western Europe and the crisis that Europe is going through at the moment, it began with a surge of outbreaks in younger people, and then widespread transmission within younger people, and then it was inevitable when that got to a certain level that seeped into older age groups. But there was a noticeable lag, not just in Ireland but in other countries, between the surging levels in the 18 to 25 age group and that critical age group over 55, over 65. So it's going to take longer to turn that ship with the older age groups. And we see that playing out in Europe at the moment. A lot of concern in countries. 200,000 cases reported in 1 week alone in France. An increase overall in European cases of 36%. Big concern. We've always been behind them in terms of our experience and had the advantage of seeing how it's beginning to impact on their healthcare services. And we see that happening now in Belgium, the Czech Republic, where their intensive care services, their acute hospital services are under strain, and they're very worried. So the message this morning is, yes, to go back to your question, there are green shoots of hope, but we're only ever 2 or 3 weeks away from our healthcare systems being overrun.